Hey there, welcome to my channel um, that I'm still calling Work in Progress at the moment, but basically the goal is to have a channel where we can all share our stories of our life journey for the purpose of helping one another, to find out that we're more alike than not alike. So that's the goal, but we're still pretty new, so we're still kind of doing what I'm calling work in progress. So I wanted to jump on real quick because I wanted to share something about a movie that we saw about a week ago, I guess, on Amazon, not in the theater, and it's called Jane. I'm not going to tell you too much about this movie because I really hope that you'll get it and take a look at it. But basically, what it is, it's about taking place in 1967. Now, the movie was actually published or produced and put online 2022, so just last year. So it's a movie that takes place in 1967, and it's of course at the time where abortion was illegal. Now they call it's based on true events, and I think they have to do that rather than saying it's an actual true story, which I think it is, but I think they say based on true events, probably due to some legal type stuff. Not a mistake that it came out in 2022, because as we were moving toward the end of 2022, unbelievable but true. And the last time I looked, there were 22 states that now are making abortion illegal. So since this whole thing happened with Roe versus Wade, that it wasn't actually legalized or legal, I don't remember all the terms, but as I'm sure most of you know, they made the government said each state can decide what they're going to do about abortion. So like I said, 22 states, when I looked, looked a week and a half ago, whenever it was. Maybe there's more now. I don't know if they all voted at one time or what, doesn't matter. Anyway, this movie, this story, is about what women were going through on all different levels, meaning rich, poor, black, white, yellow, skin color. It didn't matter. It was every woman was going through this for different reasons, through this issue of not being able to get a legal abortion. And this story is about a woman that was married. They were definitely living in a, well, I don't know what was rich, but close to being wealthy people. And she got pregnant, and during the pregnancy, toward the beginning of it actually, they discovered a problem. And so this is where the story goes, and it starts to show what she had to go through, and could not get, the doctors would not vote. They had a team of doctors that could vote on ever allowing the therapeutic abortion, I think is what they call it. And she got turned down, and where she went from there. It's not only a story of, oh my God, how could this be happening again now? How does this work? But it's also, for me, was an incredible demonstration of how this woman took this, what do I want to call it? This, excuse me, this insane situation. By the way, why they decided is what I want to tell you. Let me take a sip. Why they decided to not allow her to have the abortion is because the doctor said, well, the deal was she really had possibly a 50% chance of surviving. It's a rare situation that happens for a woman, and it affected her heart. And so early on, they discovered this and said the idea would be not to be pregnant because there was at least a 50% chance that she would die. So this group of doctors, I forget how many of them, that were in charge of deciding for whether she could have a therapeutic abortion, voted no based on that 50% chance that she could survive. Crazy. But also, part of this movie was how she took an absolutely horrendous situation where you could, as a woman, you could be outrageously angry. I don't even know what to describe as all the emotions, and turned it into a way to use her compassion. I don't want to say much more about it. I was just blown away by this movie, by so many things that came in thoughts about how we all do, how do we respond to unfair or unjust type of situations. And I just thought hers was incredible, but the whole movie is incredible. It really shows what is going on behind the scenes, for sure. And my question is, how did we get back to this situation now with 22 states making abortion illegal? It's mind-boggling. It really is. But I didn't want to forget about this movie, and I highly, highly, highly recommend that you rent the movie, because I think it's going to open your mind. It did me. I mean, I had no idea how things were being handled in those days. And where are we going from here is really what it is. And that's kind of brought me also to just the where we are in today's world and how important it is today that we can show empathy and compassion for one another, even though we may not agree with one another on whatever subjects or issues, whether it be politics or legal thing, or health issues, or anything. How can we have respect, empathy, and compassion for another that is not conforming to your ways? Because it's powerful. It's absolutely powerful, and that's what you can see in this movie, when we can turn to compassion and empathy and respect one another for each of our differences is really what it's about. And my belief and sense of where we're headed as a human species going through this evolution that we're going through right now is if we are unable to change our ways, and rather than be divided, find ways to come together, find ways that we're more alike than we're not alike, literally shift our attitudes, our upbringings that really put programs in place that came from family, school, your church, whatever, where it's no longer serving us. I mean, it's obvious. Wars, health issues, pandemics, whatever you want to say, we as 8 billion of us out there need to change what we're doing. There's no reason to have the wars and the war on this and the war on that. There's no reason that we're having such an issue with drugs, except that we're not coming to places of compassion. A war on anything doesn't work. Marching against doesn't work. It's finding ways to really embrace one another's attitudes, opinions, and start to work through finding changes in ways to make our lives productive, and to have a place for the younger generation that is coming up. I'm kind of on a rant. I'm on a rant in a way. I don't have this all well thought out in my mind, but I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. I think we have to look, bottom line, deep within ourselves. It all happens within each of us. It all happens as we change our inner world, as we become more aware of the types of beliefs or backgrounds, programming, whatever you want to call it, has driven our lives in some particular way throughout our years, and take a look of these beliefs. Are they true? Take a look at how we need to maybe make some shifts. Of course, not even maybe, we do, to release some of these beliefs, attitudes, opinions. I call them programs, like computer programs, to really allow these to move out of us, to be released, so that we can then start to look at the world from a different lens. That's the only place it's going to change. Each of us within. It's not going out there and marching against or fighting against or another war against or any against. It has to happen within. And I know that's a hard thing for a lot of people to grasp, maybe. But I think more and more are starting to get that today. So it's all about us and who we are. And as we begin, as we can begin to try to look at and shift our own thinking to a more compassionate and caring way of being, for giving kindness to one another, if that's just a smile, at somebody, rather than the judging. So I know for myself, now, every time I catch myself in a judgment, it could be somebody parking in front of my house and not parking the way I think they should park. I'd catch myself and I go, really? Really? Do I need to have a judgment around that? I'm not saying to approve of crime and bad things that can happen, but look within, because basically, really, the bottom line, if we really look at this, what we see outside, what we think is outside of ourselves out there, is really coming from in here. So, if the majority of all of us, of these 8 billion out there, could shift our own thinking, not to positive think, I'm not saying that, but to truly get in touch with what it is to be our true selves, I really do believe that there could be we could be living in a world that we can't even imagine right now. I really do believe this. And I think this movie shows something of, it shows something of how maybe this is done. At least it has for me. So that is really what I wanted to get on and talk about today. Today in California, Northern California, it's very still raining. I feel like I'm living in a rainforest right now. From not having rain and being in such a terrible drought for so many years, now we're getting buckets and buckets of rain, which of course is causing all kinds of problems and damage. And it's cold and it's like a lot of wind. So we're running, the heat in the house is very drying. That's the throat thing that's going on. But not complaining, in a warm house, roof over my head, and food, etc. So and we need the rain. It just would be great if it could come in some space between what's going on, so we would not be getting the damage. So we're still in January of 2023. We're at the very still beginning. I think we're at the 7th or 8th of January. So again, check out the movie called Jane. Let me know what you think, actually. I'd love to hear some comments about how you saw, what you saw from this movie, and just your ideas and thoughts around it. Also, I want to remind you, if you would like to talk with me, have a conversation, interview, whatever we want to call it, about some of your stories in your life journey that could be helpful to others, some insights that you've gotten, things that you've learned about yourself, all that good stuff. Right below this video is my contact information, a link to my contact information. So look for that and contact me, and I promise I'll get back with you and we'll have a conversation. The other thing is, if you've liked the video, please click like, and please subscribe to the video. as well as that little doodad next to the subscribe button, and that'll let you know each time a new video is published. So that would be great. If that works out, or if that's something you'd like to do, I'd appreciate it. Okie dokie, so I think I'm done for today, and we'll be back with you soon. But I just wanted to be able to speak about that movie, which I've done, and hope that you'll take a look at it and let me know what you think. The rest of you, have a great day. Talk soon. My clicker, I'm trying to get this to click off.